Hi, race fans. Here we go. Got a good one here tonight. Clean Racing League. ARCA Series. That's right. Should be a good one. And we got the 27 Motorsports Pure Stock Racing Team. Okay. We're qualifying, and we are in Phoenix. So, Phoenix, boy, I tell you, this track can be a handful. And I think tonight's going to be a testament to that. How's everybody doing out there? Hope everybody's having a good night. Hope everybody had a good Memorial Day. It's going to be interesting. A lot of great sponsors here tonight as we got our Grants Designs ARCA Series here. Wednesday. Hump Day. Marvin out there, little starving Marvin, lost his front end. Right now, Bobby Mantle's the man on top. Joshua Gillian. Phoenix, tough track. A handful. Can you manage it? That's going to be the question. Seth Fowdy right there with him. Pretty sure what Zachary Fowdy, who this past Monday we had a doubleheader special, first ever in Clean Racing League. We had the IndyCar, and then we had the Coke style car at Charlotte, and Seth Fowdy pulling that thing off. And look at Jacob Grant putting it on pole. Wow. Seth Valley pulling off the second one, but Caleb Grant winning the Indy race. Oh, making some history. Clean Racing League. It was good. I had fun doing it. Tonight's gonna be. This place is a tricky track. If we could keep it clean and green here. A lot of having to back the turns up. Normally you see this car very planted. I think it still is, but you can kind of. The problem with this car is too you can't overdrive it. You know, that's the thing. But Zachary Fowdy right now is going to sit in the 6th place starting spot. Qualifying's going to wind us down here. Great sponsors here. Ghost Athletics, Grants Designs. Check them out on Instagram. CRL Podcast. Check them out on Spotify, YouTube. And then simracingmerc.com, and use promo code CRL2025. Get you a little bit off your purchases there. Simracingmerc.com. Let's hear who your favorite driver is out there. Who you rooting for? Who you pulling for? Yeah. Mike Kelly up to 7th. And I like these cars here because the front nose, there's distinct differences between them. I feel like the next gen car, there's just not much differences. Mustang has a little bit, but still they're all getting to be about the same. Pushed in fender or what do you call that? A radiator opening. Yeah. Fowley's still out there trying to get better on his qualifying lap. Mine should be close. Jacob Grant put it on top. Looking to win another one. Been on a roll here. We're down a little slow in the ARCA Series. He's picked up momentum here quick. Let's go 26 Fowley. Yeah, everybody's got the Fowley group out there. Samantha, I hear you. Zach. And Miller. We're going for Miller too. Okay. See where Miller. Daniel Miller. That's Daniel Miller. He's starting 11th. Okay. They're starting 3rd right now. Zach out there trying to better it, but looks like he's going to be 6th. And let's go to 26. Who's the 26? Got to help me out on some of these numbers because sometimes they have different numbers than what's on the car. Who drives the 28? Austin McCullen. Is that who we're talking about? Because Joshua, it's showing Austin in the 26. But if you're talking about you, it's showing you in the 10. So that means got a custom number on the car and it's not showing up. That's basically what that means. It's a big difference. All right, here we go. Out in the desert. You see it right there. Way out in the desert. They say this is in the desert. Who knows? Let's get our Sim Racing Mert starting grid here. The man out front, Jacob Grant, puts it out there tonight. Looking strong. Bobby Mantle's going to start there in 2nd. Seth Fowley going to start 3rd. Scott Simley starting in the 4th. Caleb Smith starting 5th. Zachary Fowley there in 6th. Mike Kelly in 7th. Daniel Rubino. Oh, I got it right there. Starting in 8th. Joe Spinelli in 9th. David Brzezinski in 10th. Daniel Miller there in 11th. We got Bradley Murphy starting in the 12th place spot. 13th, Steve Rubino. Starting in 13th. Joshua Gillen there in 14th. Chris Smith in 15th. Michael Dunn in 16th. Austin McCullen in 17th. Wayne Chapman 18th. And Damian Pack, he's going to be there in the 19th place spot. So this is simracingmerc.com starting to line up, and definitely use promo code TRL 2025. Get you a little bit off on your purchase. Here we go. Phoenix style. Joshua says, I'm no good. I can't drive. Hey. Doing better than I am, Joshua. Doing better than I am. Lights off on the pace car. Get set to go green here. Pace car's in. Here we go. Out in the desert racing a Phoenix. And it's crazy how they moved the start-finish line way over there, because now you got to march all the way down the front stretch. Actually, it's the back stretch now. Before we go green. What's up, Barbara? How you doing? Got to march all the way in through the turn. Down the back stretch. There we go. Green flag. We're back in the air racing. Here we are. Phoenix style. Everybody gets 2x2. It'll be a wild one for the start here. You're going to split the man right there in the middle. 3 wide. You can do it here. It's wide enough. Listen to the tryover. I wouldn't advise doing it for too long, though. See Seth Fowley trying to get out of this mess in that 07 machine right there, along with Scott Simley up front. You got Mantle, Jacob Grant right there along with him. Yeah. Let me see I get it right, Barbara. Rubino. Is that right? Rubino. Did I say it right this week? Oh, yellow flag out. We got a crash in the back here. Wayne Chapman. Oh, and Daniel Rubino. No. I was just sitting right there, man, talking about him. See what happened. Chapman. Two guys, man, are nodding and weaving. Daniel goes to the high side. Wayne goes up underneath him. And Wayne just loses it coming out of the turn. Collects Daniel. Boom. Both of them just tear the car all to pieces. Ouch. Bobby Mantle's the man. Lincoln's not what you want to see. All right, get set, go back green here. A little bit of caution. That's your twin brother, Danny. Okay. So, I got it right. Hallelujah. I told you I'm going to work on it. I'm going to work on it. I'm going to get it. I'm a little slow, a little old. Takes me a little time, but we'll get there. Yeah, it's unfortunate Daniel back there and getting caught up in a wreck. It happens. It's one of them racing deals. But Steve's still out here running. He's there in 10th. Steve is your younger brother. Okay, so I'm gonna say Daniel, like you said, that's your twin brother. And then your younger brother, Steve. Okay, so they are brothers. Gotcha. Awesome. Love to see the family members out here. Lights off on the pace car. We're getting set to go. I didn't get it on the first one. We're going to get it on the second one. I apologize to Jacob there, but we're going to get our Platinum Service VA green flag here in the air. There we go. Pace car's in. Set to get going. They got to make that long march to the start-finish line. We're getting set to go back green here tonight. Grant's Designs, ARCA Series. Getting set. Check out Platinum Service, by the way. VA. These boys are about to get to the restart zone here. The Platinum Service VA restart. Green flag in the air. And look at Grant get the jump on the field. Scott Simley did not get going like he wanted to. Austin and Joshua. Let's go. There you go, Kenyon. Heck yeah. Meanwhile, there in the back, they are still rumbling. You've got Mike Kelly coming up through, but Jacob Grant got shuffled on back in the third. Big battle happening back here with Caleb Smith and company. Daniel Miller right there with him with Zachary Foudy. Bradley Murphy there too. Last race we had, Talladega, and it was a thriller, boy. I tell you, that was a wild race. Murphy's up there. Steve Rubino, he's there with them too. David Bersiski. That one's untired for me. Daniel Miller's right there in the mix. Meanwhile, up front, we got a battle. Scott Simley showing some muscle. Trying to see if he can't hammer his way to the front of Bobby Mantle. Goes to that outside of him. Bringing Jacob Grant along with him there with Mike Kelly. That's teammates. Kelly Simley. Although I got to go with Simley. He's in the forward. Kelly, what's wrong with you, man? You got to step it up. Good guys, man. There's two guys there. Jacob coming up through, too. And the Grant's Design machine. Right there. Right behind Bobby Mantle. It's a very tough place to pass a little bit. Got tight coming out of turn. Got the Mantle right there. A little side-by-side touchy touch. Oh, and Mantle goes all the way down the track. Collects Grant. Grant saved it, couldn't save it, had it saved, got demolished. Caution's out. Are you kidding? Zachary got involved. Chris Smith, nowhere to go. Just like that. It's a wreck. Oh. Chris is going, man, I've had some good runs. Who put that car there in the middle of the track? Wow. Zach might have dodged the bullet. He looks okay. Caution. Bobby Mantle was the man that got out of there the best, though. Well, I tell you, bad luck for Jacob Grant. Man. Just bad luck. All right, get set to go back green. Hey, this is Phoenix for you, folks. Typical Phoenix. Feel like it can go green, or it can just all go bad. These cars in, getting set to go back green here tonight. Brent's Designs ARCA Series. Keep going, we ain't gonna have any cars left. I mean, one out there. Scott Simley. I always called him Scott Smiley. He's always smiling. Smiling right now. Platinum Service V8 green flag about to be in the air here as they get to the restart zone. And we are back green. Simley and Kelly up front. They are teammates. They can work together. The old Simley getting back out front. Everybody going to get single file. The only way to get around this place is just use a little patience. Bobby Mantle falls back here to 6th. Zachary Fowdy's riding in his tire tracks. Right behind him is 7th. Steve Rubino right there behind him. Rubino. My bad. I don't know why I still want to say Rubino, but it's Bino. And a caution. Let's see if we can find out. It says Mike Dunn. In a Reese's Pieces machine. Lane's right beside of him. Chapman got the back in again. Oh. Ouch. Yeah, Barbara. I don't know why I'm wanting to say Bino. I guess it's because of the I's throwing me off. Bino, I'm wanting to look at an E, but the I think it's throwing me off a little bit. That's. We're going to work on it, though. We're going to work on it. Oh, shit out here. 15 into this one. Hey, it's typical Phoenix. Sometimes you have some good ones. Sometimes it's like You just never know. All right. It's set to go back green here. Back to our platinum service VA green flag. All right. Beating him back. Sidley and Kelly up there. Okay. Let's do some rubbing. It's set to go back to our platinum service VA green flag. Rance Designs ARCA Series here tonight. Kelly and Company up front. Platinum service green flag back in the air. Back in Phoenix. Simley out front. Kelly right behind him. Seth Foudy, who won the second doubleheader race. Well, here comes Caleb Smith, who won the Indy race. So the two winners of the doubleheader this past Monday. Up front, Foudy Smith. Be a name in itself instead of Seth Foudy and Caleb Smith. It could be Foudy Smith. I don't know about Seth Caleb. Maybe Caleb Seth. Oh, right now they're having a heck of a battle on the track. One's outside, one's down low. 2x2 battling. Foudy's trying to hold him off, man. Smith's got that outside lane rolling. And he's going to make that pass. Well, for the moment, he's going to make the pass. They're going to bring Miller up there with him. Foudy don't want to give that inside up, though. Good race between them. We'll see how he gets a little tight coming up on the track. Gotta watch it. We've seen all night long. Get a little bit tight. Get up there and get into the side of the guy. Bump him. Easy to do. It's a tricky style track. It looks easy. This track is not. This is just I don't know. It's an unusual track. Talk about the tri-oval right there. It's not the guy on the outside's job to make sure that you get back above the yellow line. He doesn't have to let you back up there coming around that corner. So it's your job. If you go down on that, down there where the dog leg is, like where they're going right there, and somebody else goes around the yellow line, you got to be able to come up safely yourself. At least that's how it is in real life. I'm not quite sure about iRacing. Rubino right there, man, in 7th. That's Steve. Having a pretty good run so far as racing almost took a crash on me there. So far, so good. Michael Dunn. Nice. What are y'all feeling about these ARCA cars out here? I like them. I've enjoyed the racing that they've brought. Meanwhile, right there, Dunn, Foudy, Mantle. They got a good battle going on too, and Bobby Mantle's falling off the pace back in 10th. He did pit on lap 15, so that's why he's back there along with Austin. Looks like Zachary Foudy pitted on lap 15, so I'm quite sure though if tires really matter here. Hey, what's up, Joe? Worst car in iRacing. What's the worst car? You think the ARCA car is the worst car in iRacing? Really? I mean, that's any of them. I mean, that netcode's that's just a network thing. That ain't got nothing to do with the car. But a lot of people love this car. A lot of people say it's probably a lot better than the truck Xfinity, and especially the Cup one. Everybody's like, they got it mixed on that one. Oh, wow, okay. First I've heard somebody saying worst car in iRacing. Look at Seth Foudy right now trying to see if he can't climb on the back end of Kelly and Simley and get them two guys, man, broke up here. Teammates up front, Scott Simley, Mike Kelly. Fun to drive. Yeah, it's one of those cars. Fun to drive probably, and easy to drive. Yeah, frustrating in. Absolutely. Well, I don't even see you. Oh, yeah, there you are. You got caught up in that wreck earlier, didn't you? Yeah, it's just unfortunate, man. It happens. Caleb right there along with him. Forward. Daniel Miller right there in the 5th place spot. As battle for the lead, Mike Kelly says, let me try to lead some here, Simley. Let me see what we got going on. Yeah. Yeah, just got caught up in it, man. It happens. All right, Simley. I don't know if he's smiling right now. Scott is. Kelly right up underneath him. That's teammate Seth Foudy there. Mike Kelly up front. Well, look at Seth Foudy, though. He's trying to make this thing interesting. He's going, Guys right there battling hard. He's right there behind Kelly and Simley. Both go down, man, on the dog leg, come back up. There's been all kinds of talk here on this track, whether or not the dog leg's faster or if it's faster to go around. You see it in real life. Some drivers actually opt to go all the way around and whatnot. Up to you, Joe, man, if you want to come up here. Just let me know. We can't get Joe Spinelli up here. Right now, Scott Simley out front. Moving and grooving. We got a 3-car battle. Simley, Kelly, Foudy. Good one so far between these guys. Trying to mount a good one. They're trying to pull away from Caleb Smith, too. They got about a second lead over him. They keep battling like this, though, man. Caleb might be able to pull back up on them. Caleb's hoping that they sit up here and battle for a while, along with Daniel Miller. Caleb right now. Daniel. David Brzezinski. Bobby Mantle. Kelly's still trying to get up there, but now he's got Fowley on his outside. Oh. Simley, Fowley, Kelly. Kelly falls back after trying to battle for the lead a little bit. That Fowley right there. Well, look at Seth, man, showing some speed. Remember, I was talking about Caleb. Caleb was able to gain just a little bit, but now he's got actually Daniel Miller back here. Moving up on his back end. That's just a lap car, just went around. Let me know when you're ready. All right, folks, we got Joe Spinelli up here with us. Unfortunately, midnight ended a little early. Just got caught up in a wreck. But, you know, you was out there talking, Joe, about these cars. You know, because it's unique because a lot of people like these cars. They're ARCA cars. And I think the reason they like them is because, lack of a better word, easy to drive out there. As opposed to maybe some of the other stock cars. Unless we're talking about street stock, that is.
Yeah, I like the cars. Don't get me wrong. I just I've run into a lot of incidents with netcode in these cars specifically compared to the other cars, and it drove me nuts a little bit there. But I'm good now.
Well, you also kind of get caught up in some stuff too. But hey, that happens. That's just racing, you know. Sometimes you have a good race, sometimes you have a bad one.
Hey, it wasn't the barrels tonight, so.
There you go. Well, right now it's all Scott Simley out front. I used to when I used to see him race, but I'd always call him Scott Smiley. He's always out there smiling because he used to have a car, and the front end of the car looked like it was always smiling. The teammate right there with him, Mike Kelly, and I said Caleb was going to be able to catch these guys. It looks like he has been able to catch them a little bit. He's back there in fourth. Phoenix, though, is one of these tracks where you're either going to have a good race, you're going to have a bad race. It's a weird style track. It just, I don't know. It haven't been able to really come about what to say about it because it doesn't look like it's a hard track, but yet it's a tough one to get around.
Yeah, it's just so weird shaped, and with the open dog leg, it absolutely changes the way this thing runs. I've always found it a weird place for NASCAR to have their championship weekend at every year, and rightfully so, because it's such a unique track. I don't feel like that belongs as your championship race. But looks like these turn one hero guys are definitely showing everybody how it's done tonight.
Yeah, and that's the thing. To figure this place out, obviously you got that unique dog leg here. And you see in real life, some opt to actually go down on the dog leg, some opt to go around the outside. I don't really think there's any advantage to either way. But, looks like some guys can be able to make their speed, some aren't. So, what do you prefer here?
I prefer to do the dog leg, but it's weird for me because I've always been told that taking the dog leg burns your tires more. And I've always tried to keep that in the back of my mind. And late in the runs, I will start just taking the actual track, so to speak. But I don't know. I'm never really good here.
Yeah, and in the past, but just watching broadcast here, and so even to some of the best, again, this track can just produce some great racing or just some caution type things. We had a couple cautions there early, and I think it leads to the fact of sometimes guys get out here and they overdrive at first, they figure out real quick that this place is just unforgiving. It's just not going to handle that, and you got to kind of back it up a little bit. As we're seeing the top three, though, kind of nose to tail. They broke away a little bit here. They got a 2-second lead over Daniel Miller, and Caleb has made his pit stop, so we should start seeing pit stops here soon.
Yeah, that's interesting. Well, it is lap 45's already hit, so we're halfway. It's just he's definitely trying to pull off a short pit because we've had a lot of cautions here, and they were able to really save some tire doing that. So I'm still surprised he went on schedule.
Yeah, you know, and I've talked about that in the past too here. When do you pit, when you don't pit? A lot of times, you know, I feel like any time you come into this league, Clean Racing League, that is, you bank on taking maybe one pit stop. Seen multiple tonight. Got a battle up front, though. Seth Valdy, who won one of the double headers this past Monday. He got the Coca-Cola one.
Yeah, he did. And he's doing a really good job holding that inside line there. It's starting to show off some speed here late in the runs.
Yes, he is. You know, tire saving. This is also one of these tracks where tires actually matter. You know, I talk about that a lot and week in, week out. Because a lot of the tracks, you know, it's all position-based or momentum. This is one of these tracks where, you know, you really got to save some of your tires. You know, tires could come into play depending on how far. Now, in this car, I'm not so much sure because, you know, this thing's so darn planted to the ground. But anything else, yeah. And Eric out there said, old ARCA was more fun. All right, so with that said, what do you mean by what would be the major differences in? What do you think are there, Joe?
Oh, definitely the old ARCA cars were much more loose. These feel like, if you remember, sometime last year the Truck Series in iRacing got a huge aero update.
Right.
And it made the trucks go from very tight to very loose. The ARCA cars essentially did the exact opposite. They went from very loose to very tight. So these, I feel, run a lot like those older trucks from a year or two ago. You could really drive it hard in the corners if you want to, but you are going to absolutely destroy your tires doing it.
Right.
As for the old ARCA cars, it was all about, you know, precision with the throttle. It was, you know, keeping your steering wheel in a certain spot.
Well, I'm gonna. That's interesting you say that, and I'm gonna chime in on that one. And probably one of the major things that you see there is the differences in cars. The old ARCA car was based off of the old NASCAR style car back in the early 2000s. Less downforce to that car. About the same amount of horsepower as these have, but way less downforce, way less, you know, I don't want to say aerodynamic, but yes, way less aerodynamic. Friendly. Let's say it that way. These cars, based obviously off of your, the Gen 4, I believe it is, or Gen 6, somewhere in that area.
Yes.
Yeah, way more downforce to them because those cars was built for it. And you can actually see that by just one, the wing on the back of them. Two, the boxiness of this car at the front end. Now, me, I like the design of this car better. As we got a caution.
We got a caution. Looks like the 41.
Hey, Daniel Bersiski. Let's see what happened to Daniel, man. He's just taking a pit stop, too.
Daniel.
And he's back here in the back in that, 41. Just maybe a little checkup. Quite sure what happened to the car in front of him, but
Yeah, that was weird.
yeah, this is one in.
Maybe 26 was trying to get in the pit road.
Could be,
Yeah.
yeah. It's just see when he catches him right here. Goes high. I lost it too, and then had to get out of the throttle. That thing could have been starting to come around on him. 26. Well, he might have overshot pit road, maybe thinking, okay, I was getting late, and Here comes the leaders too, by the way. But yeah, I just kind of, I'm gonna blame that on maybe trying to get it on pit road.
Yep. So I'm looking at it right now, and it sounds like they're apologizing to each other right now.
Yeah.
He announced he was going down pit road, and it looks like drivers didn't see it.
But I will say, all right, just finish off what we was talking about is, as opposed to these cars here, there's a lot more downforce involved to them. You can see that in the design of the car. So that's obviously that's the major difference. And when I look at the old ARCA car and this one, I felt like, because I drove the old ARCA car, heck, I got a win on it on iRacing. And to me, that car was easy to drive. And I got a win on it. I mean, there you go. That tells you enough of it. So, I mean, but that car was easy to drive. And I mean, I drove the old Cup car too, and believe me, that thing wasn't easy to drive.
No.
But was. So I have not drove these, so I can only imagine how easy these probably are to drive. And I hate to say it that way because it sounds like, man, Joe, you're just making it easy. Anybody can do it. No, not anybody can do it. But yet these cars are meant to be a stepping stone to get you into the higher leagues. I mean, even in real racing. And with that said, even in real racing, there's guys that get into the ARCA cars that do well that are not full-time racers, or this, sometimes it's their first race or second race or whatnot, and they do well. So that's a testament of how, when we just go back to what we were talking about, how easy or how drivable these cars really are. Getting set to go back green here. Platinum Service VA green flag. Seth Fowley and company up front. He's been up there with Scott Simley all night long. Changed the layout years ago on this track, so when the pace car goes in, they got to travel all the way down the back stretch here, go into the turn before they get set to go back green. Fowley was able to get out front in pit road here and get going along with Scott Simley as Platinum Service VA green flag. Restart zone, and we're getting set to go back green. ARCA Series here tonight. Grants Designs, green flag, back in the air. Everybody on good tires up night. Really?
Yeah, it looks like they're holding on pretty well, and I didn't see. We got another caution. Couple cars on the wall.
Well, Austin again, not the night he wants, and that's the 26 again right there.
Yeah, it was 26 and the 41.
See what happens back here in the back.
And the 10.
We're watching it right now. We'll see what happens here. And Austin right now, watching Austin here, folks. Oh, he just lost it out of the turn. Boom! And the 10 nowhere to go. Just got in the back end of him, but yeah, just lost it coming out of that turn.
Yeah,
and that, we were just talking about how easy it is to drive these cars. That's just Phoenix. That's the track. That's the track more than the car. This track, man, is just unforgiving.
Oh, you can't let these tires cool down here. You're gonna just create more loose racing, and that's, you've already developed the habit that these cars are tight, and then you bring them to this track, and it's crazy how loose you can get them sometimes.
Yep. And that's kind of the pure opposite of what we was talking about. We was talking about these cars, these cars are very tight, which, tightness brings about to less horsepower, more downforce. That's a product for a tight car. I know they yell about it in the next gen car a lot, even in real life. Obviously, they have open setups because you can loosen those things up if you want to. Here, it's a fixed setup, nothing you can do. So in this car, you have the less horsepower, way more downforce in it, product for that. But with that said, this track just known for being very tricky, and you can get loose really quick here. You can break this thing loose. You can overdrive it. You can overdrive any race car. It's still a race car. I mean, with all the talk we're talking about, it's still a race car.
Oh yeah, it's very easy to overdrive here, and it's one of those tracks that are very deceiving because you feel like you can be aggressive in the corners, but there's just not enough banking there. So you start throttling up, and you get into the outside wall off of 2 and off of 4, and it comes up very unexpectedly, especially outside of turn 2. It almost
Mom's
feels
out
like
there in chat, by the way.
almost feels like when you're coming off of turn 2 in Texas, where it just sneaks up on you.
It does. Yeah. Turn 2 is a tricky one, man, out in Texas. Mom's out there, by the way. That's your mom. She's out there, by the way.
She is?
Sandra Gillian.
That's probably Josh Gillian's mom.
Oh. Well, she said number 10.
I'm not number 10. I'm number
It
86.
is on the leaderboard. Oh, how's that? Platinum Service V8 green flag back there. ARCA. Back race. It's been Seth Valdi up front. Daniel Brzezinski right there behind him. But Scott Simley and Mike Kelly, they've been up front battling each other too. We'll see if Scott's going to be able to get back up here. You got Bobby Mantle. He's been able to move back up front. He fell back just a little bit early on. You know, the product with these cars too, you know, you feel like you have an urgency to have to get up front. You kind of overdrive when you do that. With, you know, having, you know, trying to feel like I got to get everything I can. I've talked about that as with the word I use is being conservative aggressive. Got to be kind of conservative, but you got to be really aggressive too. In the meantime, it's just product of the track, product of the car.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's looking like turn 1 here was all got themselves sorted out, and they're back up front there.
There is no other Gillian man in this race.
No, it's just Josh Gillian.
Yeah, that's right. Josh would do. My bad. Unfortunately, he has a bad night tonight too.
Yeah, I think looking at it now, we've only got 9 cars on the lead lap, so half the field has been taken out.
Yeah, you know, and that's another subject brings up is right now Seth Valdi out front. He's going to look to see if he can put in victory lane tonight with Mike Kelly. But, you know, it's been a conversation in a no fast fix. I love it because, you know, it brings about kind of like real racing. Unfortunately for yourself right there, and I think Josh early on, sometimes, you know, you get caught up in the stuff. It's racing. It happens, you know, wrong place, wrong time type of deal. So, you know, that's the flip side of that kind of argument over whether you should have a fast fix or not. I'm for the not, which they don't have it here, but some are for it. But I feel like sometimes that brings about a little more aggressive driving, you know. So racing is racing, you know. Sometimes you have good luck, sometimes you have bad.
Yeah, no, this is not the league for fast repairs. We don't want any of that here. If you want a fast repair, go find a league with a fast repair.
Yeah.
This is, you know, the whole point of being the clean racing league is racing clean, you know.
Absolutely.
And if you're trying to give out fast repairs, you're only promoting dirty driving.
And I'm with you there. I agree with you. I mean, you know, does it work in some instances? Absolutely. I think more so than not. It's, you know, to me, I like the realness of not knowing you don't have it. Sometimes I think it calms them down, but that's just people can go round and round about that subject all night long. But you're right. I say it's in the name. It's Clean Racing League. I mean, obviously there's some tracks like this track here, some of the other shorter tracks that just, it don't matter how good you are, they just breed cautions. I think the most I've ever had at Phoenix was, I believe, 24 cautions in one night. Have I ever had any that was none? Sure. But most of the time, they're higher at this track, and it's just a product of this place.
Oh, yeah. I wouldn't be surprised, though, if we went green the rest of the way here. What do we got?
We did 21, 20 laps
to go?
Yeah. Kind of spread out. Got Fowley up front, Kelly right behind him, Simley up there in third, and they've got a good second lead over to David right here sitting in the fourth place spot. Daniel Miller right behind him, trailing with Bobby Mantle. Caleb Smith, who won the first annual CRL, a doubleheader in the IndyCar this past Monday, did an outstanding job there. And Zachary Fowley He's holding on right there in the 8th place spot. Like you said, Steve Rubino right in the 9th, and then the first man a lap down, which is on pit road. That was Michael Dunn, and a lot of other machines out. But Seth Foudy, he was also one of those winners in the doubleheader, Joe. He put it in the Charlotte race in that second annual one, so that was a really, really good one.
Oh yeah, he definitely showed up there. I remember I was racing in that race. I was actually the first car lap down at the end of the race, and I was able to see the fight for the lead up front at the end of the race, and
yeah, have
him come out on a separate pit strategy and drive up through the field was fun to watch.
Absolutely, it was. It was a good one. And folks, if you missed it, go back, tune in, man. OSR Network on YouTube. Definitely check that one out. It was a good night, a good day there. Appreciate the guys here at the Clean Racing League. Let me broadcast it for them. It was, first annual doubleheader event. So kind of a long night there for all the drivers and the broadcast and everything, but it was some good fun to have with Indy cars, and then actually had the next gen car there. And first time I've ever actually seen a Clean Racing League run the next gen Cup style cars. Most of the time it's either trucks or well, this is a new series here too. Jacob Grant, got to give him, unfortunately, I got it, spun out early on, got in trouble earlier in the race, and unfortunately out of it tonight here. But I got to give a shout out there to Jacob Grant, Grant's Designs, putting this thing on, first annual here, first season that is, for the ARCA Series here tonight. And it has proven to be some pretty good racing this season, Joe. Most of the races have been really exciting, and especially last week at Talladega.
Oh, man. Just such great quality racing comes out of this league. Both of them, the Truck Series and the ARCA Series. And you got to give it to Chris, you got to give it to Jacob and Fred and everybody that shows up every week to make this the league that it is. I joined it earlier or late in the year last year, and I never want to turn back. I'm stuck here. I'm over here. I make videos for them, like highlight reels and stuff.
There you go. Yeah.
Whatever they need, I'm there.
Talladega one, man. I made one of that Talladega finish a couple weeks ago, so I try to make them every once in a while when I get the time to do them. But I've watched some of them. They're fun. So to go back and see, because some of the finishes here have been very exciting.
Oh yeah, and what a call by you, by the way, last week. That was amazing.
I appreciate it. I get my moments every once in a while, Sometimes I'm on, sometimes I'm not.
I was on the edge of my seat watching it, and I knew what happened.
Well, me too. Man, them guys up front, you got to give the hats off to the drivers. Them guys been put on the show. They were there at the end. It's almost like a battle going on here. Bobby Mantle, unfortunately fell back a little bit, got caught up, fell back. He's trying to see if he can't race back up here. He's got a race right there with Daniel Miller right behind him. So that's 3 machines. That's for 4th, 5th, and 6th place spot. Caleb is a little further on back. He's about a second, 1.3 seconds back from Daniel Miller. So we got 3 packs. You've got this front pack here with Foudy, Kelly, Simley. And then you got the second pack there with Persiski, Mantle, and Miller. And then Caleb Smith, and I don't know, well, actually you got Caleb Smith by himself, and Zach Foudy's about a second back. Steve Rubino right back there in 9th, and I finally got his last name right. I know Barbara's out there rooting for him, and Barbara was just telling me that they're brothers, Daniel and Steve, brothers. So the twin brother is what Barbara was talking about. Daniel is, and the younger brother is Steve out there. So love seeing the family members. You've heard me on the broadcast many a times, but we're getting down to the closing laps here, man. This thing's going by quick. We've had a pretty good long green flag run.
Oh yeah, this is shaping up to be an exciting finish here. You got all 3 of these guys fighting up front. I'm starting to wonder if maybe they get side by side if this second pack can catch them. It's going to be tough 3 seconds behind, but
yeah.
I would definitely love to see it.
Well, you've got to also look, and then you've got to take this into the equation. These guys get up here and battle too much. I think the odd man out right now, who probably is in the best seat, is Scott Simley for this pack up here. Because Mike Kelly at some point is going to have to think about trying to take on Seth Foudy if he wants to try to win this race. But then he's got to worry, Scott's going to sit back there and say, okay, are they going to get up there and battle? They're going to make a mistake. They're going to touch, because Very easy to do. Get tight on the inside of a car, run up the track, get into one another, end up wrecking. And Scott should be sitting in that position to sit back there and go, what do I need to do?
Yeah, I'm wondering if these guys in the back are, second and third, are saving their tires a little bit more and trying to get that ready. But
yeah,
at some point you got to tell yourself, it's go time. Let's get moving here. We're coming to 6 to go. We got to get moving.
Got to go. You got to think about it at some point here. I mean, Kelly right now, looks like he's losing up on the Foudy. And Foudy's got it figured out, Simley, so it might end up being a battle just for second, third here. And, hey, Chrome, I tell you what, man, things happen on the track. It is what it is. It's racing. We talked about it earlier. Sometimes, man, you get into stuff, sometimes you don't. But right now, Scott Simley might be thinking, well, Kelly's not able to run down the leader. Maybe I might think about sitting up here and get second place from him. Might not be the winning move, but at least give me one more position up here. Seth Foudy right now is trying to pull away from these guys with the closing laps.
Yeah, he just gained another 10th that lap. This is looking to be Seth Foudy's race to lose. He's running away with it.
And, very easily, he looks like he's on rails right now. They figured this place out. Got a lap machine coming up on the back end of them there. Probably shouldn't be a factor. Hope not anyways. You're going to probably see a battle here soon. Interesting to see. Now, their teammates, Kelly and Simley, are. Those two guys came over from another league. I've known for quite a while. When I saw them come over, I thought, oh, boy, yeah, here we go. We got some good, bad, fast guys. But here comes Simley to the inside. He knows time's running out. Only got about what looks like 4 more laps to go in this one tonight. It's been a good one for the Clean Racing League. Jacob Grant's Designs ARCA Series here tonight at Phoenix in the desert. So far, you see the battle. It's been Seth Foudy up front leading most of it. Kelly along with him, but Scott Simley's back there chewing his back bumper.
Oh, yeah, and Kelly's falling back even more. That was about a 10th and a half. I don't see them catching Seth at this point.
There he goes, Simley to the inside. He's going to be able to do the dive, and you can see right there, he's able to go on the inside, but the car gets so tight, he's not able to get the rotation off the middle off.
Yeah, but if he gets that dive here in the dog leg, he should be able to clear him. No, not quite.
Yeah, you see him when they go in the turn, he's able to get the run, but just that middle off, that's where that loose, tight style feeling, feels good. But you can see that car right there just gets so tight, and you just got to let it go.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Kelly's getting a huge run out of them corners running that higher lane.
Yep.
I've seen it in practice and in qualifying.
Tough to pass here. As once you got the tires neutralized and they're even, it's another thing about this track, just real hard. But hey, I've always said you ain't got to pass him, just got to get your nose in front of him. Right now, Seth Foudy, he is long gone. Bobby Mantle, though, being able to get up into the 4th place spot and move away from Daniel Miller back here in the back, who has got David. Those two guys are battling. Daniel takes over the 5th place spot. Caleb still running, but Zach Foudy has ran him down. So another battle back here for 7th and 8th place. White flag in the air.
And it's over a second lead. I mean, he can almost coast from here.
Yeah, it is. Out of turn 4. Well, it says turn 2, but down the back stretch. I'm going to say it's
the old turn 4.
Yeah, the old turn 4, yeah. Coming around here. And the final time is going to bring it around. I don't think Kelly, unless he just loses it. Are you kidding me? Did he just lose it?
Yeah, but at the checkered, he won.
At the checkered, good. I was freaking say, whoo, man, Seth Foudy bringing her home tonight. Always confused me to start-finish line this place ever since they changed it. It's kind of weird how the track's laid out now. But Mike Kelly coming home in second, Scott Simley there in third. But Seth Foudy, what a week he has had, winning the doubleheader second race here, and then tonight winning here in the ARCA car. Woo! Well, that's going to bring about. He's going to be one happy dude here tonight.
Huh. Oh, so I guess the race wasn't over, and looks like Seth Foudy was driving the wrong way and disqualified him, so it shows him lower on the list. But he obviously won.
Yeah, I would say he won. Yeah.
Yeah.
My ticker still says he's up there, so I'm going to go with that until I'll let race control after the race. We'll say it this way: unofficial results. That's how they always say it.
It's official. He won.
I'm going to stick with the unofficial. We'll go it that way.
Yep.
They always say that
I
because
feel
they might get disqualified. You never know. He might have had a foul part in the car. Yeah. They get that route.
Yeah, I don't want to say all of the top 3 making their debut tonight, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong. I know Mike Kelly joined tonight.
Emily's done one, but hey, either way, let's bring up one of these guys up here. Get Bird with them. Mike, Joe White in the booth. Got a copy?
Joe White, what's up, buddy?
Well, pretty good, man. I tell you what. Well, Phoenix, tough little track out here. Was talking about it tonight, but in the ARCA car, I know that's got to be a big change for you, man. Especially I know you from a lot of the Cup Series style driving, and then obviously the trucks. But give us your take on how you was feeling in this car at this track.
Oh, it's a lot of fun. It's the first time I've driven the ARCA car a few times, but this is the first time I've driven it here at Phoenix, and it's really a lot of fun. It handles pretty good about anywhere you want to put it. Of course, there's a couple magical lines that are really fast if you can find them. But race-wise, as I think you saw up front, we were mixing it up pretty good, and we were running all kinds of different lines. So it was a lot of fun to race for sure, and I enjoyed it thoroughly. And it was good to come over here and just have some fun in this ARCA series. I think it's a great deal they're doing, and want to see it grow and help it grow, and just have some fun racing on Wednesday nights.
You was battling right there with your teammate Scott Simley. I always used to call him Scott Smiley. I know he's probably smiling tonight.
That's our teammate too. So it was all 3 of us were team. I wasn't sure if you knew that.
Okay, I didn't know about Ben South about there being a teammate. But hey, that's awesome. I mean, but you were battling with him right there. Was you a little worried he was going to get around you? I mean, it's so tough to pass here at this place.
Yeah, it was impossible. As you saw, Seth and I were working Scott for that whole long run there. And that high side's just so good coming off too. You can get a run down the back stretch, which gets you up underneath somebody going through 3 and 4, and then you carry that down the front stretch and you go into 1 and 2 again, and they're beside you, and they just beat you off of 2 with that run that you get up there. So it was a lot of fun. And then of course, if someone's a little bit behind you, when you start mixing it up, they come into the scene too. So then you got to protect when you're trying to make the pass. But it was almost impossible to pass, but a lot of fun racing trying to do it.
No doubt. Definitely got up there. Man, you had a good car tonight. Got anybody you want to thank?
Yeah, thanks to you, Joe, for coming out and doing this on Thursday night as well. Always great to get up here and talk to you. And thanks to Jacob and the admins, Ghost Athletics, CRL Podcast, and Grant Designs. And definitely cool to see Jacob putting this on. Shout out to the Turn 1 Heroes guys. We grew this ARCA race. Our team got really big tonight, so shout out to all those guys racing. I've raced with Seth quite a bit in the past, and his son his son Zachary. Sorry about that. And then a couple other guys ran with us tonight too, so that was a lot of fun. So shout out to them, and shout out to the Smoking Hot Wife.
Well, there you go, Mike Kelly, bring it home in second. I love it there.
That was great.
All right, well, let's bring this man up here, man. Old Scott Simley pulling it off in third. Scott, Joe White in the booth, you got a copy?
Yeah, I got you, Joe.
I think it's the first time I got to talk to you, man, since in a while. But came out here tonight. You look really strong up there. I was talking to Mike there, but take us through your account on what you felt like in this car here, because I'm used to seeing you in like a cup car or the truck. But what was your feeling on this car and track?
I like the car and the track combo. It's racy. It was a lot of fun. I think the clean air was big. And then obviously Seth got me on pit road and then lost the clean air, and I could get up to Mike and Seth. It seemed like I could gain and just catch back up if I was a second and a half back, but then it would just like stall out in the air. I don't know. And then I think Mike might have had a little more wear than me in the end. I was able to get up side by side, but you just couldn't get by on the bottom. Obviously saw that when I was up front and those guys were trying to get by me. Same thing. So I think once you had that track position up first, pretty easy to fend them off, staying on that high line.
Gotta ask, because I know I'm known for it when I used to see you race. Are you smiling?
Always when I'm on the podium, at least. I'd have been up there liking to race Seth and Mike even closer, but it's still fun. It was a lot of fun tonight. Good racing, no cautions like that. So it's always good.
Absolutely. You got third tonight, man. You got anybody you want to thank for a good finish?
Joe, you in the booth, and OSRN, Grant Designs and Ghost Athletics, and Chris and CRL for putting this on. It's good. It's a good group here going, and I'll just try to make some more races here and try to have some fun for the rest of the season, and we'll see what happens.
Hey, look good, look strong. Again, congratulations there, Scott.
Appreciate it, Joe.
All right, there we go. Well, this guy, man, he's having a heck of a week. Put it in victory lane. Seth, Joy in the booth, got a copy.
Hey, Joe, how you doing?
Pretty good. Well, I see down there in the team chat, and because this week you're having a good week. You won the doubleheader in the Charlotte race earlier on Monday, and I noticed down there in your team chat, it must be a good luck charm, because I'm going to say the wife again down there spotting for you. And you put it in victory lane again. I know you mentioned that this past Monday. So take us through, man, how you felt in that car tonight.
Yeah, it was fast. It was a little tight at times, but I was able to do a pretty good job of driving it off the right rear, which I think helped a good bit. So you just had to be careful not to drive it in too hard and tear up that right front. But it was a good run. Like you said, my wife, she's now kind of taken that spot of really filling in there as a crew chief, and she's done a good job of getting tires checked on and getting gas put in the car, and she's calling out lap times and where guys are running. I knew exactly where Mike was running behind me. I didn't have to look at it or anything like that. So it's pretty nice to have somebody to be able to do that, and it's really cool that she's enjoying doing that and things. So it was a good night. We got by earlier on in the race with Scott and Mike. We had some good battling going on up front there. I always know that when I'm racing with these guys that I can race, as hard as I need to, and I can get the same respect out of both of these guys. So it was an awesome time being up there with those two, and getting by Scott was not easy. We really took hold of the race there with the pits strategy. We were able to get in and get tires changed, get fueled up, and get out the pits before he was able to get out. So I think he had a little bit longer pit stop than I did. So that really kind of sealed the deal. We put it up front, and I think that clean air really made a difference. And Mike even told me as we kind of headed towards the last 10 laps there that he didn't have anything. He chewed up his stuff, so I knew at that point it was kind of a little bit smooth sailing. So yeah, good night for the 07.
How are you feeling maybe now with this win and the way the performance has been picking up as looking on and maybe to the championship runs here?
Yeah, I mean that's the goal. We wanna put together week after week. We want to be able to try to compete. I know we got some good tracks coming up on the schedule that I feel pretty good about. So as long as we can continue to have clean races and not getting into any binds with the car, I think that we have a good opportunity to bring home a championship. And obviously, I'm hoping that we can carry this momentum with winning Charlotte, and then of course winning the double, and then tonight I'm hoping that we can kind of carry this momentum into the Truck Series and really kind of get us out of a hole. We're in a hole in the Truck Series. From early on in the season, we had a few bad wrecks. The first race of the season kind of really set us back, and we've just been playing catch up the whole time. I think we're sitting 18th in the points there, and I think we're sitting third last time I checked in the ARCA Series. So tonight's win should really put us up there, and we should be getting close to that first position, if not in. And hopefully in the Truck Series we can, like I said, continue the momentum and be able to get into the top 10 at least for the playoff time.
Hey, no doubt. That looking good, looking strong. Got the win tonight. You got anybody want to thank, Seth?
Yeah, absolutely. I want to thank you, Joe, and the broadcast, OSR, for putting on the broadcast. I always enjoy going back and watching watching these after we're done. It's a good time, and I really appreciate you and your guys that you bring up here to help out with that. Want to give a thanks to the sponsors of the league, CRL, Clean Racing League, Ghost Athletics for sponsoring, and of course Grant Designs for sponsoring as well. Takes a lot of time and effort to put into putting these things together, and these guys do the best at it. So I'm really happy to be here. I think that the guys that we're racing against, I think they're fantastic. So I want to give a shout out to those guys, everybody that runs. I like everybody that's here, so it's a good time. Also want to give a shout out to Jesus Christ, my Lord and Savior, for my sim equipment and stuff like that, and being able to have time and be able to do these kinds of things. We're a very busy family, and it's a blessing to be able to do these things, and I want to say thanks for that. And then of course my wife for helping me out tonight. And then I want to give a shout out to all the guys from Turn 1 Heroes tonight, Zach, Brad, Danny, Mike, and Scott, and just a thank you to them guys for being awesome teammates.
There you go. Seth Fowler, you put in victory lane tonight. Well, Joe, man, I tell you what, it was a good race. I mean, a little sketchy there first. Unfortunately, like I say, you got caught up in something earlier and ended the night, but come up here and helped out, get a new perspective on it. But, I mean, how did you feel about it?
It was a great finish, or a great race in general. It definitely looked like we were going to have a little bit more exciting of a finish, but, nonetheless, it definitely looked like we got another Seth Fowley, not domination, but, taking command and running away with another one. It definitely seems like somebody that's going to be tough to beat over the next few weeks while he rides this high.
It is. And sometimes, man, racing is all about momentum. And once you get on a momentum, you'd be good to go. So he's got it going with a win this past Monday and the win tonight here in the ARCA Series. Grant's Designs, we got to give a shout out there. And the 27 Motorsports Pure Stock Race Team coming on board tonight too. For all the sponsors out there, simracingmerc.com. Check out CRL 2025 promo code. Gets you a little bit off. But for the Ghost Athletics, Grant's Design, CRL podcast, for myself and everyone, have a good night.